This the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome everybody to another The War Report After Dark. It's that time of year. Break out the classic WrestleMania theme song.
Yeah.
We're just a couple weeks away, a little bit less.
Yes, we are.
So the road to WrestleMania continues, and we have a lot to go over when it comes to some changes and some additions to the card. So we will go over it all, break it all down. But of course, before we get started...
Yeah.
We're on loop. There we go. David Roscoe over at YouTube. WrestleMania 41's going to suck. I definitely do not agree. But we'll dive more into that. He also says Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair promo sucked. I actually thought it was fantastic, especially since what we had the week before. But again, we'll break everything down, go into it all. Tara says hello, and she loves the old school theme. Yeah, every time this year we played the old school theme, it gets you excited. That was still the best, I think, WrestleMania theme ever.
Yes.
So, I think we should start this week and go right into SmackDown, which will then bring us to what transpired last night. SmackDown was great. And I got to tell you, I love how the entire show was all about what the favor was going to be. And you had segments of it throughout Paul Heyman, we always say, is just amazing. But he really is that good. Like, he really is. His facial expressions, his passion, his mic work, his just everything about him was so great throughout the entire show. And then in the main event, and we'll break that down too. But overall, it was a great show. So I think we should break it down. But what did you guys think overall? I think it was one of the best SmackDowns of the entire year.
I thought it was pretty damn good from top to finish. I did think that the favor was going to be him walking out with him, which I think is now going to give us another, I guess, the next version of the tribal chief, per se, is going to start giving us the new layer, right? We're peeling off a new layer, and now we're going to get a nice little butterfly come out of this caterpillar, and we'll see who he is without Paul Heyman on his side. My biggest take overall out of everything that's going on, and I'm sorry I'm jumping off beat, but I'm just so excited about this one theme, and I can't wait till we get to it. And Steve, don't hate me for it. Is that Dominic Mysterio is going to be your new Intercontinental Champion. Oh, wow. And I think that is going to be my favorite WrestleMania moment this year. And the fact that he's going to go over Balor is going to make it even better.
We were chatting about this after they announced it, which was something that they announced on Raw. So we'll dive more into that when we get to Raw. But I agree with everything Al thinks is going to go down, because I do think Dom is actually going to be the one that goes over, and it's going to be pinning Finn Balor.
Ooh.
and that's just going to further the breakup of Judgment Day. But we'll get more into
I'm
that.
sorry
But
about that, Steve.
No,
But yeah,
no,
but to
it's
get
all
back
good.
to that I love what they're doing over there. It's pretty good, and I thought Rollins was gonna be like the what are you doing here guy, but him egging them on is even better. And I actually thought my biggest thing about this is that what if Rollins takes the wise man and says, "I got a way out for you. Walk down with me. You don't have to choose sides."
Well,
Yeah.
based on what took place last night, Paul Heyman now owes Seth Rollins a favor.
Right.
So that just added another layer. And I mean, I don't know. I'm very torn because I don't want to see Heyman split from Roman. I love him as the wise man to the tribal chief. I love that whole thing. To me, that it just has never gone old. And it's been going on for so long. So why try and fix what's not broken? But it's going to be very interesting because there's a part of me that thinks he is going to somehow screw both Punk and Roman and go with Rollins. Rollins, technically, in my opinion, turned heel last night. So, I don't know. Like, he's the sleeper of the three. Like, even when it was so funny when he comes out because he wants to witness what the favor is in person. And he literally was background noise because the entire focus was CM Punk with Roman and Paul. But when they pan to Rollins and he's belly laughing in the corner because he knew what was coming, it just added to it. And then what happened last night, and again, we'll get into that, it furthered it for me. So, I don't know. What I do like is I don't really know how to call it.
I'm leaning towards Rollins winning because, and it's the same thing with Io Sky. The other two people are so involved in their own stuff and their own feud, basically,
Yep.
that they're treating them like an outsider. And I think
It's a great example.
I don't
Yeah.
even know. You're saying that maybe Heyman is going to do something. I'm going to put out there, I don't even think he's going to do it intentionally. He's going to go
Heyman's
in
the
there.
key. Heyman's
Right.
the key to this whole thing.
He's going to go in there intending to interfere on someone's behalf, whether it's Punk or Reigns, look conflicted, whatever. I feel like he's going to hit the wrong guy, and I don't think it's going to be on purpose.
Right. Well, listen, that has happened before with Heyman, so it wouldn't be so far-fetched. But it's going to be very cool to see how it goes down. But SmackDown started with CM Punk coming out. Obviously, they're in Chicago, so the pop was crazy. He comes out, he cuts his promo. Paul Heyman comes out. For the love of God, what's the favor? Where's the tribal chief? He's not here yet. I'll tell you both to your face, which is what sets it up for, the main event of the night. And then in the entire middle is the anticipation of Roman showing up. And Heyman freaking out in the parking lot, waiting for the car to come in. He thinks it's Roman, it's Seth Rollins. They have a little thing. So they really did a great job keeping you interested throughout the entire show, and then the build to how they finish the show. But I do want to talk about really the first matchup of the night, which was the debut of Rey Fenix. My first question is, why Nathan Frazier? Like, why was that the decision? Because there were two spots that he wasn't really good about, and people are shitting on the debut, and it had absolutely nothing to do with Rey Fenix. He was sensational. Nathan, on the other hand, but I don't really understand why it was him. Like, out of all...
Have they had history before? Have they wrestled?
Not that I know of. They didn't talk about it if they did.
No. I think it was just he's a solid, they thought he was a solid guy. They don't want you don't want to beat somebody that he might be feuding with, so they figured somebody that's on the NXT roster instead of the SmackDown roster. There's any number of reasons they could have done it, but
I mean,
Yeah.
I really saw one big botch, right? I saw one big one. The second one you're talking about, I might have slipped it or been looking at my phone, so I don't know very well.
Well,
But
the first one, he went flying to the outside, but he didn't clear the rope. And if
yes,
Ray didn't
and
move
Phoenix had to
forward,
catch him.
yeah, because Ray moved up to save his ass. Otherwise, that could have been catastrophic.
Right.
And then there was another one, and I don't remember at this point. I don't remember what it was, but there was a second one. Was I was like, oh, here we go again.
Well,
Here
I'm
we
gonna tell
start
you
moving.
what. For me, outside of that one thing I saw and that one I missed, I guess I thought the match was fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
I thought they killed it. You know, I mean, again, for a big wrestling fan, two botches might be too many, but I thought the match was great. They were
I mean,
real.
it was
Like
all about
I
Ray
don't watch
Phoenix,
NXT. I don't watch NXT, and I don't know who that guy is, but he was fucking good.
but Ray
Yeah.
Phoenix was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a great debut.
So I noticed something that not that I necessarily noticed, but it was people were talking about it online. They've designed the logos for Penta and Phoenix's Titantrons and all that stuff to be very similar. Like the shape of it and all that. Like it's like Phoenix's mask and it says Phoenix, and then Penta's like eyes and whatever, and it says Penta. It's very close to the point where it's like, okay, they are going to put these guys together eventually, but we
It's
got
just
to
a matter of
establish the
time.
one guy first. Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that they have them on separate rosters or separate brands. But I think eventually, when there's a draft, one of the two is going to get drafted to, and then they're going to end up together. And if you like them separately, wait until you see them together. Because they are a hell of a team.
Touche.
Yeah, and it's weird you're mentioning teams, and maybe this is another reason why. Nathan Frazier is part of that tag team with Axiom.
Yeah.
Maybe they figured another tag. I'm thinking if you have a guy with a mask on one of the tag teams, why don't you put Axiom in there against Phoenix? Then you've got two, but maybe they're like, no mask, do it. We can't have two masked guys. It's like, okay, whatever. They make weird decisions.
Yeah, because I think Axiom, that would have been
It would
a
have been
great
more.
choice.
It would have been more Phoenix's style.
Yeah. LA Knight versus Tama Tonga was a great match. That kind of finished the way I thought it would. DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, again, I'm not the biggest DIY fan, but great match. Motor City got over, so they're number one contenders now. So I'm happy with that. B-Fab versus Naomi. It was all about Jade, which is great. Mm-hmm. But it also made Naomi strong because she took an ass whoop and she still won the match, and then she just got her ass whooped again and ran.
Could we stop in this match for a second?
Yeah,
I just want to say something. I just had a conversation, I think it was with Mitch today in regards to this, that obviously we're not fully done with the roster that's going to go into WrestleMania. There's more matches that need to be announced. But based on what I see, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Intercontinental Championship for the women's side, at least, looks out of the picture for the WrestleMania event.
Like they're not going to have it?
Like I mean, do you see a storyline that's giving us vibe that this girl's going to go to WrestleMania? Like, I don't see it.
No.
Right. So, like, why didn't Naomi challenge this girl within the last few days and make this a title match and make it relevant? Like, why didn't they fit that into the storyline? Like, what are we doing? Like, how do you have a title that, what grinds my gears?
Oh, Peter.
How do you have a title that you just put out less than 6 months ago, made this big ordeal about it, tournament style, some good matches, by the way, and you put it on this girl, God given, okay, that's great, put it on her. But come on, man. Like, you don't have her in the event, and yet you forget about the title? Like,
she just had a great match where she defended the title against Bayley.
Don't get me wrong. She has great matches, but we probably weren't even going to talk about that tonight. And if we did, we were going to be like, great match and move on.
I will say this. She does nothing for me.
Right.
I've said that from the very beginning.
That's exactly what
ahead,
Al
man.
said. That's what he was telling me today. Oh, so that's exactly what Al was telling me today. She's good, but she does nothing, there's no wow factor.
Right.
No
I'm in the same boat.
I got
Chelsea
it.
Green.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to ask. Do you think Chelsea is going to put out because this is hers is the U.S. title? Like, is she doing U.S.? She's the U.S. champion, right? But she's a Canadian champion, Chelsea, or is
Yeah.
she the Intercontinental?
Yeah.
She's okay.
U.S. champion.
No, she's USA.
Is she set up for a match? Because in my head, I'm like, ooh, is she going to do one of those U.S. Open challenges like Cena used to do, but do it at WrestleMania? Because that would be kind of cool.
She
So
might
who-
actually, because there's no. I don't think there's any match set.
So,
So
no,
who shows up? Becky Lynch.
oh, that could be a good one. But
Oh, that'd be
so are the
wild.
two women's singles mid card titles, the U.S. and the Intercontinental title, don't
There's no
have.
matches yet.
Mm.
No.
But Jade, I just realized I was reading this online. Jade and Naomi is the first women's singles match either ever or in so many years at WrestleMania where there's no stipulation like a title being on the line. It's just a straight up singles grudge match. It's not like it's not for a title. It's not a street fight. It's not a this or that. It's just a straight up one-on-one match, which apparently for the women, just a one-on-one match with no stips hasn't happened at WrestleMania.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
And
But
it's
what's
interesting
going
that
on
they're
with
not fighting.
Naomi? What's going on with Naomi and Jade is bigger than any title right now.
Because you can
Oh,
see
yeah, of
them.
course.
You can see that feud being for a title.
But the
Naomi
thing-
could win the title. Jade could be coming back. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, right? They don't need the titles, but that title needs them, like bad. You know what I'm saying? Like bad, like bad potato salad bad.
Raisins it,
Yeah. Ooh, God. Ew.
dude.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu.
Oh,
I mean, every time it's entertaining as hell. I could watch the two of
Put
them
Jacob
go
in
at it
anything.
all day long. What?
I say anytime you put Jacob in anything, it's going to be gold.
he's.
Oh,
Killing
yeah.
The guy's incredible.
He's amazing.
I feel like he's got to be the next one up, man. I feel like really, like this is his this WrestleMania is his test. I feel like the crowd's going to be behind him, and if he can put on a good performance, he's going to be in a spot that like he's going to be in the Jey Uso spot next year.
right.
Yeah.
Times 10.
Oh yeah, because he's going to be way more over.
I think that's a match that still hasn't been set yet. Well, actually, maybe not because Jacob is now contender for
The U.S. title.
the
isn't it?
U.S. title.
Yeah, so that should
Oh,
be
right. So they might put that strap on him at. Isn't
Oh,
that a
yeah.
WrestleMania?
Well, unless Solo somehow fucks up, costs Jacob the match, and then that officially separates Jacob from Solo.
and they could do that on a SmackDown. They could be like, oh, Jacob is cashing in his number one contendership Friday night, and then he has the match won. Solo comes out, blah blah blah, and then you get a setup for something at Mania. But I feel like we're at nut cutting
We're
time.
so
Why don't we
close,
just put
man.
this? Why don't we put? I'm absolutely 100% on board putting that championship match on Mania, getting Jacob his big Mania win,
I'm totally on board for that.
and even if I don't know what are they. If they had Solo interfere and cost Jacob the match, where does that championship go next? It's just kind of been like, that U.S. title is like in the like I don't know, it's just there.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you put it on Jacob,
That's
since
what I'm
he's
saying.
doing well lately. I mean, look, worst case scenario. I mean, I think it's too late already, but you could have definitely speeded this whole betrayal from Solo up earlier
Yeah,
and let him interfere with LA and fucking Solo, and that way you could protect LA taking the belt off of him, and
agree.
you make it a triple threat,
Ooh.
and you have whatchamacallit, Jacob going over Solo by pinfall.
doable.
You know, with LA out the ring or some shit.
Hmm.
Like, I think that would have made a lot more sense because now, like, he doesn't get the belt, and unless he gets the belt and then
Right.
Solo turns on him afterwards, wanting to go after the title. I don't know. I mean, there's avenues you could go. There's avenues.
Oh, there's always a way. Listen, we've seen them pivot 1,000 times in 30, 40 years. They find a way. They go, okay, we're going this way. It's not working. We're gonna fit. They always figure out a direction, whether it's Vince or Hunter or whoever. They get they work their way out of it, good, bad, or indifferent. Because sometimes it's Katie Vick, but
So, the main event, we get the favor. I loved, again, the whole way it played out. Paul Heyman was just phenomenal. And then, of course, a brawl in the end where Roman is left laying. So, we'll see. But I'm very curious. I don't know how it's going to go. There's so many different routes they can go. It's going to be fun.
I'm particularly curious, since it seems like Paul Heyman is leaving Roman Reigns. What does that leave for Roman Reigns? Like, where does his dynamic the last 3 or 4 years has been how well he bounces off of Paul Heyman in backstage segments and promos and all that. And now he's going to be, we call this other guy Solo. This guy is Solo Dolo. You know what I mean? He's going to be Roman Reigns with no, like Cody said, a Roman without a Reigns, a tribe without a chief, and all, or a chief without a tribe, all this stuff. Like, he's just going to be by himself, and then he's going to have to stand alone on Roman Reigns, not Heyman behind him, all these guys. It's just him.
Could bring in more Usos.
It is possible. I just think the problem was, and again, this was Vince booking, when it was just Roman Reigns by himself, we didn't like him very much collectively as fans. People were like, he's good, but he's not.
But he wasn't the tribal chief.
Right. So now there's this hit, which is why I think that maybe he'll do better by himself, now that he's had this kind of time with Heyman and time with the Bloodline.
I'm just hoping somehow this works out where Heyman stays.
It just doesn't feel like it, right? We're all talking about it. It just doesn't feel like, because even
sounds like a breakup ready to happen.
Friday night, every time Paul Heyman has to go against what Roman Reigns wants, he's so conflicted, and he's like crying. He's got the thing is, I can't do that, my tribal chief. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, he's so good at that.
No, I can't do that, my tribal chief.
Are you crying? Are you crying?
I love that shit.
You better stop crying and tell his ass no.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You won't have those moments anymore.
What did he say? Land his ass softly or something like that? He said, you better land his ass softly and let him know he can't. Like, he won't go even if I tell him to.
He loves me.
He loves me. That was great. He loves me.
It really was so well done. It was so good. So, something else we got to talk about as we shift over to Raw. We have to talk about Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair's promo.
Yes, sir. So,
compared to the crap we got the last time, the whole satellite thing and whatever, this, a lot of people are thinking they went off script and they took some blows. Charlotte was recently on the Jennifer Hudson show, I think.
Oh. And
she was talking about the shame of another divorce being compared to her father. She got emotional. She cried on the show. Like, she had a real heart-to-heart. The clips of this aired, like, the day before this promo. So, like, that last line where Tiffany's like, you're going to be alone just like your personal life. What is it, 0-3? And then she wooed and rode out of the ring. Like, they took some blows. And then, of course, Charlotte asking why Ludwig's in her DMs, which nobody believed, which is funny.
Zero shot.
You heard his reply? He had a reply to that. Ludwig.
What do you think?
He put a meme saying, please don't flatter yourself. I forgot where it was from. I forgot where the meme was from, but that's exactly what he said. Please don't flatter yourself.
That's funny.
And it was like from a movie.
They brought Kaiser into this kind of like, this guy's just, I don't even think he's on the same brand. He's just chilling out, and all of a sudden his name comes up on national television. And they met, it's not breaking kayfabe, is whatever it is. We're in 2025, but acknowledging their relationship on screen when I don't think they've acknowledged that relationship on screen yet.
Not on screen, but anyone that pays attention knows.
Yeah,
right.
Like, they're always posting shit together on social media, and Apparently, they've been together quite a long time already.
Oh,
But
well, that's great.
yeah, good for them. But it was that promo was much needed, especially for Tiffany, and it got me more excited for the match. So it did what it needed to do.
Do you guys think that was like real?
I think they went off
I
script.
think there was like real heat. Like, do they not like each other? I guess at this point.
There are rumors.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing online seems that there's again 2 weeks in a row there was a plan in place. Last time it seemed like Tiffany was left out of this. Hey, by the way, there's this whole extra layer you don't know about, so that Charlotte could get a couple extra digs in, and that's what made the whole thing a disaster because nobody knew. One person was given different instructions than the other person, so they're gonna have a bad segment. This time they were both on board, and they might have been told, "Hey, you can go out there and you can take a couple shots. Like if you have something unscripted, you can throw a shot out there or something." But I don't think Triple H was sitting back there. Triple H is not like, "I think you need to go and talk about her divorce." You know what I mean? Like he wasn't doing that. So they went way off the rails. Good for Tiffany though, because she needed something like that to boost herself, because she went out there and got trashed by Charlotte via satellite. That's even the word. When you get trashed via satellite, it's somehow worse. And now she came back, and you're right. It went from who gives a shit about this match because the promo sucked to, oh, we finally have a promo that we can get excited about this WrestleMania match. So within the course of a week or two, they've turned this around.
And you know what's great? We got a second promo that was just as good, if not even better than that one. When Jey Uso, who came out no yeeting, all black, cut a heartfelt promo in the ring, to the point where you actually started to see concern in Gunther's face. Like, holy shit, what have I done? He could actually win this thing. Because now he's going to a place that nobody's seen yet. Like, that was the feel from that promo. It was so well done. I thought that was one of his best promos I think he's ever done.
Well, you go, Vince.
No, go, yeah, because I just had this. I'm like in my head. I'm just going. I want Wyclef Jean to be out there with Jay, going, "No yeeting, no yeeting." Anyway,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth, Steve. I love him. He's my boy. I eat with him all the time. I didn't like that promo. I felt it was forced. I felt he elongated it a little bit. I think I think he's he slid into a few words and like he elongated it. Like in a way, it felt long for some reason out of him. Like
he didn't get
it started out well, but the longer it went, I feel the less better it got. If no disrespect to you and my boy.
I loved it.
So Al, do you think was it that he did he repeat things too much? Like, was he going back to the same points, or do you think he could have said it quicker and he was just kind of dragging everything out?
I think he could have definitely cut that a good 3 sentences short and started whooping the Gunther's ass, because all he did was zip time while he make my brother bleed. So I don't understand why we're speaking so much. And like you said, there's a few words repetitive in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're serious. I feel he should know that you are serious. And the other thing is, I don't think Gunther did such a good job at looking like worried. He looked more confused than worried. I don't know. It was an awkward promo.
Do you think that guy's ever looked worried in his life? Gunther could stare down a bear and not look worried. He's fine.
That's why maybe
I loved everything about it.
I don't know. It was different for me.
Well, now you need the tiebreaker. What does Mitchell think?
I was in agreement with Al. We discussed it earlier.
Really?
Yeah, no, and you know I love Jay. I got 3 gay shirts in my closet.
I'm shocked.
Wow.
Vince, you didn't like it either?
I was with Al that it was a little
I was trying to stay out of
this. A little too serious.
Yeah, I wanted to see what you guys, because I wanted to see because I saw 1-2. I was like, we got 1-1. That's why I wanted Mitch to break the tie. I'll find myself somewhere in the middle, because honestly, I'm glad Jay went out there and did something unexpected, and it wasn't just, hey, we know this Yeet thing is popular and we can just ride the Yeet wave all the way to WrestleMania. Yeet wave. Why have they not said that yet?
Don't get me wrong. I did not hate it by no means in the imagination. I didn't hate it. I'm
You
just
thought it
saying
was-
it wasn't one of my favorite ones for what I thought it was gonna be. After what I saw his brother go through, oh,
Oh yeah, you were expecting a little more emotion from Jay, or
a
what? Like,
little more emotion, not this whole like I don't know, like he came in like kind of talking to himself, gritting his teeth. Like I would have came in like right in Gunther's face.
okay.
He did. I like when he started when he slapped the mic away from him. I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. But then, I don't know. It was good.
I get what you're saying. I think I'm glad they tried something different with Jay to make it a little more serious, because it very well could have just been, we've got this big threatening guy, this big bear of a man, and then a guy on the other side of it, somebody who's not taking him seriously and just like wearing silly sunglasses and saying yeet. Eventually Jay had to buckle down and do a promo like this. And I don't think he's going to do this every week leading up to WrestleMania. And I don't know if he'll ever cut a promo like this again. But it's good to see a character like that be like, hey, I'm the fun-loving guy. I got this song. Everything's popular. But at the end of the day, I'm a professional wrestler. I've been doing this for 15-plus years. I got to go out there and I got to whoop ass instead of just, like, go yeet. So, slings and arrows. I think both of you guys have a point there with what the promo could have been, but also like just looking at the face of it, it's way better than him just coming out and yeeting in Gunther's face for the next 3 weeks.
Well, him coming out and yeeting would have been a horrible decision.
After watching
What happened last time, like you needed to, he came out the way he needed to.
But that's what I'm
dark
saying.
and
If he came out yeeting. This sounds so weird because every time I say yeeting, I'm just imagining him jizzing all over people. But I mean, is like, if he just came out the next week and he's like, yeah, my brother's critically injured, yeet. I think he's not gonna make it, yeet. And it's just no. I think that would be the worst promo ever. So I'm glad he's serious. He took it a little more seriously.
So speaking of serious, now we got to talk about Kevin Owens.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
Is this?
yeah.
I don't know.
Is this
I
real?
hate to be this guy. Yeah, thank you, Mitchell. We're all in
So,
the same place.
I gotta tell you, when I
Googled it.
watched it go down, I usually don't question it. Like, usually when they come out and they do that, with the exception of Mark Henry, but that wasn't really injury related. He was just semi-retiring, but not retiring. But I usually don't question it. But this one left me questioning whether or not this is legit. I don't know. Is Orton really not going to wrestle at WrestleMania?
I feel like they're going to have an opponent. If this is real, they've got to have an opponent for him. People are
And
saying,
if it is real, it fucking sucks because it's neck surgery and there's no guarantee of timeline or if he'll be able to return.
and they're saying potentially 2 to 5 years is like the worst case scenario for something like this.
Oh, that I didn't.
5. Jesus.
Jesus.
But
Christ.
that was something like Wrestling Observer or somebody was speculating. They're like, could be like 2 to 5 years. Which, listen, there's guys that probably should have taken 2 to 5 years, like Kurt Angle, and he didn't, and he went out and fucked up his neck, and now he walks like the Terminator T-1000 the rest of his life. It really but look at Edge. Edge and Saraya had similar injuries. They took several years off, and not that Saraya's at the top of her game, and Edge is a little bit slower now, but they're back to wrestling. So maybe if it's real, maybe the time is going to be good for Kevin Owens to take it off and just don't rush back to the ring. Come back when you're 100%.
So Tara says, I feel like it has to be because I don't think KO would willingly miss WrestleMania. So you're missing the point, right? Because if it's a work and it's not real, then he is going to wrestle at WrestleMania, and so will Orton. That match will still happen. Like if it's a work, I could totally see Orton coming out, cutting a promo like it sucks, like, I feel horrible that this had to happen. I wish I was the one that put him down or whatever, cut this promo, but KO comes from behind and attacks him, and then the match actually happens. So, like, if it's a work, then that's a possibility. It's just whether or not it is or isn't.
And listen, Kevin is a very good actor.
Yes.
I don't know if you can act that like that seemed like disappointed guy. You know what I mean? Like that seemed like listen, if in a week or so he's back out there, rips a neck brace off, and that's how they make the WrestleMania match official, I will eat my hat. But
Is
man,
it WrestleMania in 2 weeks though?
Yeah.
is it 2 weeks now? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks
Jesus
from Saturday.
Christ.
Yeah.
We're here.
Holy shit. We are. We've made it.
Why do you think I played the music, guys?
Well, but yeah, but it's too like I've been waiting. Like, part of me was like, oh, we can't really talk about this. And, like, we're not really into WrestleMania until after Dynasty, and Dynasty was Sunday. So, like, yeah, we're there.
So there's one other thing too I want to bring up. I just witnessed the greatest spear I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've been watching professional wrestling for 40 plus years. But that spear from Bron Breakker running down the ramp to Carlito, he was like a missile, like a fucking rocket that flew like Superman halfway down the fucking ramp into a spear. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Into a flip,
He flipped and landed on his foot. Like, what? The only spear that matches up to that I can think of, there are two. One, Bron Breakker at the Royal Rumble when he hit I Show Speed or whoever that was, KSI, one of those guys. And then Goldberg, Nunzio, 2003 Royal Rumble, 2004 Royal Rumble. Goldberg comes in, and poor Nunzio, I mean, his torso was in the 3rd row and his legs were in the 10th row. You know what I mean? Like, he was cut in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing, Terry.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. The speed he gets is just mind-blowing.
Wait, he landed on his feet after the...
Or like he did like a flip. I don't know if he landed on, but he like landed it clean, like fucking clean. He might have landed like on his butt, but he hit a spear and did a full front flip in the air and then landed either on his butt or on his, yeah, he's...
Because I saw him flying down. I guess I looked away, but holy shit.
I gotta find the, yeah.
Go on TikTok. It's like every other fucking video I see now. Like, it's unbelievable. Ryan, what about Goldberg spearing Jericho where his shoes flew off? That's true, too.
Another one.
That was a great one.
Oh, my God.
That was a good one.
I have to mute this.
Well, they also made a huge blockbuster announcement. I can't tell you how uninterested I am. But apparently it's going to be Rey Mysterio going one-on-one with... the fuck? What, they just made the
Grande Americano.
Yeah. I could give a shit less. I mean, it's going to end where Rey rips off the mask and it's going to be revealed as Chad Gable. It'll be a good match. Really? Like, that's a WrestleMania match?
It'll be a goofy, like, it's not going to go that long. It's going to be a goofy match. Eventually, like, Rey's going to rip the guy's mask off or something. There's some shenanigans are going to happen.
You eventually need filler matches, and I feel that's not a bad filler match. I mean, it's a good corny storyline that's going on right now. I want to see where they're taking it.
They've been building this particular story up for a while now with Chad Gable going away, finding some guy, giving him a mystery box. It looked like the beginning of Gremlins, like he's in some Asian
It did look
store.
like the beginning of Gremlins.
I love that. I just realized something. Grande Americano, that's like a large espresso at Starbucks. If you go, you can order a Grande Americano. I'm like, oh shit, that's what they. Oh,
You think we can get Starbucks to change the name to a Chad Gable?
He
that'll be great.
He named his new gimmick off a fucking drink at Starbucks.
It's literally a Grande Americano. I just was sitting here right now when I realized that. I'm like, I'm dumb. How did I not pick up on this?
And you know what the thing is? The name sounded familiar, but I'm like, what is a Grande Americano? Where have I heard that? It's goddamn Starbucks.
And I did just look it up, Al. He didn't land on his feet, but basically what happened was he hit the spear and he did a full flip in the air and almost landed like Randy Orton or Diamond Dallas Page coming down from an RKO or a diamond cutter. He like
That's
landed
even cooler.
He landed on his back and then just kind of popped up and like the guy's an athlete. I mean, that spear was pure hate. Like, you know, I don't know what Carlito did to him. I don't know if he stepped on his foot backstage or whatever. Like, that was hate.
That was the most incredible spear I've ever seen. That is number one. That has officially taken the number one spot.
Is there a way to play that? We can play that, right? No, we might get copyright struck. I don't know.
We'll get copyrighted. But Go on TikTok.
Yeah, I was just it's
Just put Braun Breaker. It'll be the first thing that pops up. So they made it official, as we've said for weeks was going to happen anyway. Io, Ripley, Belair, triple threat for the women's title. Going to be a great match. I could see Io retaining, and it already looks like Bianca is becoming the heel.
Yeah,
and we have not seen that in a very long time.
Just the blatant disrespect to Io is just mind-blowing. Like, they don't even acknowledge her.
Hey, Thomas.
What's going on, T. Roach? Yeah.
What's up, T?
Yeah, it's
Tomas.
we talked about this as it was developing of like, where does Bianca go? Does she just stay? And I'm like, guys, I don't know. The way she reacted to Jade coming out in the Elimination Chamber, I think Bianca's due for a heel turn. And we all were kind of like, yeah, maybe she is. And it's Wookie, I see you. Every week we're getting closer to this official Bianca heel turn. And I think it, like Steve said,
they're already starting to boo her.
Yeah, and the crowd's already booing it. But what I'm saying, like, she has to do one more dastardly thing, either before WrestleMania or at WrestleMania to cement it. But this will be the first time since, I believe, NXT that Bianca is a heel.
Correct.
And this EST thing started out as a heel gimmick. The EST of NXT. She was the bestest, and she was the greatest, and the whateverest. And that was how it started. Was like it was a heel. It was like a Mr. Perfect kind of thing, where she was she knew she was so good she could just call it out. So maybe we get a little bit of the original EST back in her character.
I'm ready for a new development for her because, it kind of dried out for me in a way.
Well, how many times can a lady cry at WrestleMania?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, okay, we get it. Your mom's there. Okay, fun. Move on.
Mean but true.
Everyone's mom is there. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's okay. Like, you can, like, you don't have to cry at every WrestleMania. Sometimes you can just win at WrestleMania and be happy. It's fine. You can just be happy.
You know what we have to talk about, too? How Dominic really held up with Penta.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. I was very impressed. I mean, Penta's gold. And Dominic has gotten great.
Yeah.
And the two of them together, I thought it was fantastic.
I like that they gave him more. Well, not gave him. He wrestled more of a traditional matchup as far as like the way he was hitting and taking hits, and it was more of like a, dare I say, like a man match per se. Compared, like those little lightweight matches he'd be having, like jumping around and being all jittery and hitting guys and they don't go anywhere. Like he was chopping him and hitting him, and it was
Bro,
it was good. I liked it.
Man match cracked me the fuck up just now. What?
I'm sorry. That's what
I just like the way you put it. Like, it's a man match. I'm like, I get it. It's not a It's not his typical thing.
Right. It wasn't civil.
And it wasn't like, it was just a little. It was a different show. And again, this is good. We're leading up. Like, a lot of these characters have been established for so long. We need to start seeing changes in them. And even Dominic, who is popular, you can't just stay that one note forever because then it's gonna get boring. So Dominic has to either step it up in the ring or change his promos a little bit, whatever.
Well,
I think
they cheered him last night,
dude, and I think here's what's happening. Well, can't wait till Yassim. All right, can't wait till that Rey Mysterio match against Grande Americano because everyone's saying that Chad Gable. It's not. And I can't wait to see who was. You know what? We can't say. I got to tell you, Yassim. The people who believe it. Listen, Mexican tradition states when you put that mask on, it's a mystery. It could be anybody under there. But I'm going to tell you, there ain't too many 5'2" white guys on the WWE roster.
5'2".
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you just got to, by process of elimination, there's only a handful of them. So, really, I still think they should do the doink thing like they did the doink thing at Survivor Series. They should just have, like, a black Grande Americano, a fat one, a really, like, Braun Strowman in a Grande Americano mask. Just go crazy with it. Every time you unmask one, there's just another one coming out. They're like, how many are there? Oh, David.
David Rosca. Oh, this one first. Trish Stratus, Chelsea Green for the Women's United States Champion. Listen, if she does an open challenge, it's possible.
We were talking about this last week because they're both Canadian. I think it
Oh,
would work.
that's right. We did say that.
This is about communism. David, I love you. You've been listening for what, 2 years at this point, maybe 3 years. What is the like? Nicolae Ceausescu. I've looked this up before. He was like a communist dictator. I gotta know. Is this are you just like a big World War II buff? And you're like, which is cool. I've got friends that are like big into World War II. I've been to the World War II Museum in New Orleans. It's a great place. What I'm trying to ask is, are you pro, like by the things you're saying, are you pro this guy or are you anti this guy? We gotta talk, man. I just want to figure it out.
You're
I
so
gotta know
intrigued.
I gotta know where you stand on the communism thing, man. Listen, there's nights I stay up at night and I'm like, the perfect 10, Nadia Comaneci. You know what I mean? I'm going through all of this stuff in my head. Like I have a vague picture of David in my head, not looks wise, but just like try and figure out the guy's personality and what he does throughout the day and like what TV show. Like I'm trying to develop that, and I want it. Like I want David. Do you have a webcam? Can you come on the show? Can we give you the link one week? We got to talk to you for real. We come on the show. We got all of our questions we answered, Steve. We sit here all the time.
We
We
have
look
so
at his
many questions.
And this is a genuine, like, you've been following for so long. We want to know now. We've put out so much here. We want to know more from you. That's maybe that's just me. I want to know more, Steve. I gotta know.
Steve got his Denzel laugh right now.
And he's sitting like that. He's sitting back.
You see him?
He needs a cigarette hanging out of his mouth like Training Day. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. What the hell? Oh my God, we had good 2 in a row. Yassine, thank you for the Grande Americano. And David, just keep being you. Whatever anybody else says in your life, listen to this. Keep being you.
That's very true.
We love you, David.
You know, the other thing too is, in terms of matchmaking, I mean, we are running out of time here. Like, it's down to the wire. There is also news in the rumor mill that Saraya may be looking to make her return soon. And I am hearing that there may have been conversations. So,
hey, listen,
we might be getting Paige back.
Triple H has a soft spot for all those NXT kids. Rusev's back. Saraya's going to be back. Malachi's back. Like, there were a couple. I bet you if Adam Cole's contract ended at midnight and the rest of those Undisputed Era, all of them, he would want those guys back because all those decisions were Vince decisions.
Yeah.
So, and listen, Adam Cole just won the TNT title at Dynasty on Sunday, so he's not going anywhere, but like, it's just a fun thought experiment. I know Triple H would take any of those NXT guys back in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, why did I press that? Jeez, I'm trying to scroll it through the comments. Autumn left one real early in the show. I got to bring it up because I don't know if she's right, but there's an argument to be made. Oh wait, not this one. Here it is. Jinder Mahal's title reign was more entertaining than Cody's current reign. And discuss.
Agreed. I don't even know. I don't even know, but Cody sucks.
Mitch.
I do not agree.
I can't agree with that. No, that's a stretch.
So, Mitch, we'll very briefly in like 30 seconds or less. Jinder Mahal was a perennial job guy. He was like NXT champion, but once he made up to the main roster, he was just like, he was an Indian guy with like a turban. That was just like.
Okay, I think I saw him once. I think they had him on a show once in the last 2 years, and he got his ass beat.
Oh, he
sounds about right.
Yeah, so basically,
what sounds about right.
Basically, what happened was WWE was getting a lot of viewers, and they still do, in India, and they decided that they were going to make Jinder Mahal the world champion. Like, surprisingly, on the middle of a smack, like he beat Randy Orton on a SmackDown or something, and then eventually Dude, and then the next week he had a big entrance, like fully Bollywood thing with dancers. There was like 50 dancers, and they were all in like orange and red outfits, and like he came out looking like a world beater. And then you realized it was still Jinder Mahal from the
What a
3-man band with Heath, whatever his name is, and
Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre.
Back when Drew McIntyre was a job guy. So this is how long ago it was. But anyway, they did that. They realized it was a mistake and immediately put the title on like what, Brock Lesnar or something?
Probably. Jazim over at YouTube, I know that's not Chad Gable under the mask because I saw on my own TV screen, him and Kathy Kelly backstage
That's right.
when they were in the middle of an interview, and a mysterious man. He's not wrong. There was a mysterious man that walked by with the mask.
There was, and there's no way that that WWE would edit a live, like you can't edit live television, right? There's no way. It's impossible. You're right. I think they're two different guys. What if Chad Gable has a secret brother like Eric Angle? That was my every so often, Mitch. Every so often, Eric Angle, who looks just like Kurt, would come out and interfere. Like he would dress in Kurt's outfit and like come out, and they would do like twin magic. One time, Brock Lesnar, like leading up to WrestleMania in 20 or whatever it was, 19 or 20. Brock Lesnar came out and beat the shit out of Kurt Angle and gave him an F5 and pinned him and thought he won the world championship on a SmackDown. And then he looks down and he goes, "Fuck!" And they're like, "What happened?" And then he picks the guy up, and it's Eric Angle. And then Kurt Angle comes out and starts beating the shit out of Brock Lesnar. Oh, it's great.
Damn. That's wild. That's awesome. I'm have to watch that.
I feel like I would go to Gilbert Goldberg for financial advice.
Gilbert was great with the little sparklers.
Yo, when
Gilbert
they had
was hilarious.
Gilbert with two dudes holding a single sparkler each.
Wait, and they used the choke on him while he's walking by.
Dude, and he'd do the Goldberg's like tongue thing, but he'd like like he'd really overdo it. Oh, it was so, and he was so skinny. Listen, Dwayne Gill was a good wrestler. He was never going to be a world champion, but oh my god, he did all of the movies, the thing, he did all of Goldberg's moves. It was perfect.
Gilbert.
I don't know what the question is. How about the Drew McIntyre?
Maybe just what his direction is, or what we think of him right now. I think they need to give him a direction. I would like them to give him a fucking title so that he can just go out.
You think he's going to go over on Damian Priest?
No,
because those two are wrestling at Mania.
He should.
He has to. He should. Yeah, he has to.
Priest got his WrestleMania moment last year, and he screwed over. Right, Drew won the title and then got cashed in on. That was like opening a night one, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because Seth came out with that big parade, and then and then Drew came out. Drew was like celebrating or something. Oh, he attacked CM Punk. Was doing commentary, right? And then he got in Punk's face, and Punk like there was a thing, and then Damian Priest came out. I'm trying to remember last year's WrestleMania, and I haven't watched it since then. But it's something like that.
I think you're right, because I think he was like trying to fight with CM Punk, and then CM Punk used his because he had the sling on or whatever from his broken elbow, and he punched him in the head.
So that would mean, I think Drew should win because Damian got that big moment last year at Drew's expense. Yeah.
Tara, speaking of twin magic, I hope the rumor about Nikki Bella returning aren't true. Well, they are true. And now the deeper rumor is that Brie may be along with her. So it sounds like they're coming back, and it sounds like it's going to be right after WrestleMania.
What if it was just to accompany John Cena to the ring?
That wouldn't be uncomfortable at all.
I know.
Oh my god.
My least favorite WrestleMania moment was sitting in the Orlando humidity, waiting for the main event matches to happen, and John Cena has to go out there and spend 10 minutes proposing to Nikki Bella, and then they don't get married. Like, I don't know what was worse, sitting through it live or then seeing, like, 2 years later, hey, that thing you sat through, the wedding's not happening.
Jasim, I'm on Team Eat all the way. Gunther sucks. I'm not on his team. He's going to lose, I hope. I think he's going to. I don't see any way how Jay does not go over at Mania.
Yeah, this is a very pro Yeet crowd here. on the. And I only think Gunther should win because I think Gunther should be one of those old school guys that should have a championship for like 2 or 3 years or whatever and not get beaten. But that's just me. I know he's going to lose.
He could always win it right back.
He could.
That way Jay gets his moment.
Right.
So, we are getting right up to the top of the hour. Anything that we wanted to cover before we take it home?
Oh, well, for those of you, since we spent a majority of the time talking WWE, if you follow AEW or you just want to watch some good wrestling, AEW Dynasty was on Sunday. The pay-per-view was really good. Main event ended with basically Mox is doing the tribal chief thing where his Death Riders have become the rest of the Samoans that just interfere on his behalf. But other than that, which again, there was a surprise at the end that I won't spoil. Great, if you're into the shock kind of attitude era endings of a pay-per-view, they gave it to you. But everything else was fantastic. Ospreay went out there and wrestled his ass off. Speedball went out there. Omega, there's a lot. Swerve was great in the main event. There's a lot of young, talented guys in AEW and the women. Timeless Toni Storm against Megan Bayne, the Megasis, who's huge. She looks like a Greek goddess. And Toni Storm came out dressed like Rocky. Gunther came out dressed like Mickey with the hat on and the jacket and all that stuff. So she's like, it was great. It was a very fun show. If you just need some wrestling to fill in your time, if you got nothing going on one day and you want to throw on some wrestling, this year's AEW Dynasty that just happened, it gets my recommendation. And Yasim, you don't make a Samoan angry. Last time we saw that was when Paul Heyman didn't tell the truth to Roman Reigns about the favor with Punk. So yeah, that's the thing. We're getting to where Heyman is pushing Roman's buttons, and we might be setting up for his Superman punch or a spear on the big guy Paul Heyman. I don't know. I feel like something bad's gonna happen to Heyman.
Yeah, I do too, but I hope not.
Like he's got to take that bump. He's got to take a bump in the match for sure, right? He's got to get.
Last time Heyman took a bump, he was gone for a month and a half.
That's true. Well, then I hope he doesn't take a bump, so he stays on TV.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the top of the hour.
That is it. We have reached the top of the hour. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's a War Report After Dark. We do this every Tuesday, 9 p.m. on Eastern Time. We stream on YouTube on the Tag Me a Date channel, and we stream on Facebook at the Tag Me a Date Facebook page that you can like. And if you're personal friends with Steve on Facebook, it also streams on Steve's Facebook. So those are the big 3 places you can get it. Most of our usernames online are Tag Me a Date. You can type that into the YouTube bar. Our channel will come up, and you can hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when we upload a video or go live. I'm just going to cough real quick. And we're back. So Tag Me a Date is the best way to find us. If you put that into Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, most Twitter/X, most social media websites, you will find us there. On TikTok, it's the War Report _podcast, the War Report.podcast, something like that. Steve knows it better than I do. I should know this because I say it every week and then I don't know it.
You know, I gotta look, right?
Right, now we're gonna go because
the War Report podcast.
All one word.
Yeah,
beautiful. Even it's all the War Report podcast. Beautiful. So you can get shorts and reels of the shows throughout the week, and then we go live on the main pages on the Facebook and the YouTube every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you prefer to listen to audio versions instead of the video version of this podcast, you can just go to your favorite podcast apps such as Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Just type in Tag Me Date, type in the War Report. You'll know it's us. We have this graphic that I have on the TV, and then it's also in the corner on the screen. You'll know it's us by that. There is another wrestling podcast called The War Report, but we were first. Just facts. And we want to thank everyone for popping in. This always happens around WrestleMania season. We get some new faces in the chat, but thank you, David and Tara, for always being in there. Autumn popping in to tell us about Kat tonight. Hope Kat's doing better. She's being run ragged, and Autumn's on crutches right now. All right, Ryan was in the chat. Ryan's the one that grabs the audio for the podcast apps, and he should be back on the show, but he works a damn job. Thomas T. Roach was in here. He was there. He's one of your guys. He was there a couple weeks ago too. And Yassine, hey man, great. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for throwing in the comments. You guys drive the show. You know, we can talk about wrestling all we want, but if you think we're off base or you think you've got a different opinion or maybe you've got a question about something that you saw on TV, throw it in the comments. We'll put it up on screen. We'll talk about it. And we just do appreciate, people watching. Because if you're not watching, we can't do this. So you're watching, you're putting in the comments. And hopefully, Yassine, you're on our Facebook right now. Hit that subscribe button, buddy, and hit the bell. And if you're listening or watching on the YouTube right now, do the same. Hit the subscribe and hit the bell because we are 2 weeks away. It's no longer the road to WrestleMania. We are at WrestleMania. It is that time of year, man. We are the card has taken shape for the most part. We're 90% of the way there, and it's like we had the opening day of baseball. We had the Super Bowl a couple weeks, a month and a half ago. This is the next one. This is the same feeling you get Super Bowl Sunday or you get the opening day of baseball. You're going to get that feeling WrestleMania, Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday for sure. And we're just here for the ride. So we'll be back next week, 9 p.m. on Eastern Time for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And have a great week on the road to WrestleMania. The Mega Powered Explode!